curious fuckers. This is a vlog about mental health. What? I like a really big mug of tea. It says size matters. And that's not my actual thinking when it comes to dick size, but when it comes to mug size, size fucking matters. Most of you may know I've struggled with mental health quite badly, actually, throughout my life, like really quite badly. I'm just about to have a therapy session, so hopefully give you some good nuggets of advice. Mental health issues are mainly when they become debilitating, or just like being like low, sad feeling. That's not a normal thing to feel. We sometimes think that that is. It's not. You're supposed to feel positive most of the time, not 50% of the time, probably about 80% of the time, if not more so, and not worry and not stress. And if you are worrying and stressing and thinking negative thoughts, that is when your mental health has gone out of control and you need to get that control back. I have been diagnosed with depression, with severe anxiety and obsessive compulsive disorder. I don't have depression anymore, although my depression did creep back up during lockdown. You know, it's actually really fucking hard to explain mental health. Like, trying to explain what my brain goes through for a neurotypical person to understand is like, I was thinking about this when I was brushing my teeth yesterday. When my mental health is good, I'm literally just like focusing on brushing my teeth. Last night when I was brushing my teeth, I had to stop myself and really like think about what I was thinking about. Sometimes you barely notice that you have constant negative thoughts or bad intrusive thoughts. It just becomes normal. And that's definitely what's happened to me in the past couple of weeks. I have not noticed until recently that my mental health has just got kind of like crashed. The main reason for me, I believe, is because I've been so busy over the summer period. I've been looking for a place to live, which has been really exciting. Did loads of work with Come Curious, and all of a sudden that's come to an end. It's not come to an end, it's come to like, it's slowed, and I don't really know what to do with myself, which also means that I want to distract myself with negative things like drugs. I've had a massive drug issue. There's nothing wrong with doing drugs as long as you're, well, I mean, apart from the fact that most of them are illegal. In my opinion, still nothing wrong with doing drugs unless you're using them for bad things, like what I was doing, which was escapism. I could escape my negative intrusive thoughts, my obsessive compulsive disorder, if I took drugs and was like out on a night out and dancing and loving life. For the past 10 years, I've been boshing a lot of drugs. I gave up weed long time ago, thankfully. Like, I was just started giving me panic attacks. I've only just stopped having panic attacks, which is amazing. The best thing about anxiety is that it's a learned behavior, which means you can unlearn it. In my opinion, and I have broken my foot this year, I would rather break my foot again than have another panic attack. Oh, there she is, she's calling me. Okay, I'm gonna finish this in a bit. I'll let you know how my therapy goes.
My name is Dr. Rebecca Amisa. I am a medical doctor in neuropsychiatry, psychotherapist and life coach with specialist interests and expertise in sex, gender and sexuality. My therapy sessions look like a safe, non-judgmental place with boundaries where we can collaborate and process difficult feelings, challenges, aspects of our identity that we haven't fully integrated, and work together towards you leading a better life. Nothing is taboo if we are to bring our authentic selves, and that's all of it. The late side, that's the sloppy side, that's the side that really hates my mother-in-law, that's the side that has a bit of a kink for feathers and tickling. Gosh, there have been so many transformations and evolutions of Reed. One of the major changes that came about was in you releasing that kind of self-judgment, inner critic, and you started to notice when it was coming about, and you'd say, okay, it's not your time to talk now. And that was so releasing and exciting for me to bear witness to. Another beautiful kind of blossoming experience that I can say I've observed is this ability to feel so deeply and richly, which was there when we first started our work together, but now there's this ability to really name your experiences. In Therapyland, we kind of speak about naming to tame, putting words to things that feel so intense. One of the most recurring myths is this concept of feelings being either good or bad. I can't feel like this. I shouldn't feel like this. The truth of the matter is there's no feeling that's inherently illegal. There are feelings that are uncomfortable. Feelings pass. Feelings are valid. They are important physiological states and experiences that help us live the life that we want to be living.
I do feel like after a therapy session, like a huge weight is lifted off my chest. I'm really privileged that I can pay for therapy, but that's only just been in the last 2 years. All the other therapy I've had has been free through the NHS. I fucking hated therapy the first 2 years that I did it. It was one of those where I was like fully at rock bottom. I had already had a psychotic episode. I was having panic attacks all the time. I couldn't work, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I was on job seekers allowance, on the dole. I was lucky I was living at my mum's at the time. I also think moving back into my mum's was one of the reasons why I was like triggered into a bad mental health spot. I was hitting drugs really hard. I was definitely smoking a lot. Like I was going out and partying all the time because that, again, my escapism. I was not looking after myself. I was miserable all the time. Depression sucked. Anxiety was horrible. That just made me so like dread everything. I was like in fear all the time. I remember just like showering before work and just being like, I can't do this, like panicking and overthinking every little bad thing that could possibly happen, and just sitting there like, I don't understand why this is happening, and you feel fucking crazy. And so yeah, obsessive compulsive disorder, that's what came out in me. And I had kind of like pure O. Mine was definitely keeping things tidy. It had to be tidy. If it wasn't tidy, I'd be really unwell. It had to be done my way. If somebody was cooking, I would literally have to remove myself from the kitchen, because if they didn't chop things up my way or put things in the pan my way, I would genuinely not be able to eat that food. And it got worse. It got to the point where, again, I couldn't leave the house. I got agoraphobic. I freaked out. Like I couldn't wash. I couldn't eat. I had this like crazy psychotic breakdown. I used to have like auditory hallucinations of like literally hearing people screaming for help, to the point where I've called the police before. I mean, this is quite extreme, but at the time it doesn't feel extreme. It just feels so fucking normal. It feels like everyone goes through this shit. I always had these awful thoughts about like harming myself, harming other people. Luckily, I've learned through the power of therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT to be exact, that just because it's a thought doesn't make it real. It's a warning process that your brain goes through to warn you that something is wrong. It wasn't until I hit rock bottom, where I couldn't handle those thoughts and feelings anymore, that I was like, okay, what options do I have? CBT was amazing, actually. I had years of it and I hated it at the beginning. Like I hated therapy at the beginning. I thought it was a waste of time. And I think it wasn't until like maybe my third or fourth therapist that I had gone through where something like clicked. I think it was when she really finally helped me realize that she had also had obsessive compulsive disorder. And I was like, you've got OCD, like holy fucking shit, you seem really well put together and like normal. And it kind of showed me like, fuck, if I actually do listen to her, maybe I can get where she is now. So I got out some of my old therapy books where I'd written notes, or I'd done homework, or tasks that my therapist had told me. Again, dyslexia for you. So doing this shit makes you feel like you're back at school and makes you feel dumb. Something like a flower diagram where you just break down what your mind's doing. Doing this shit helps you figure it out, like what's the root problem. And so yeah, like every time I could, I would write down important notes. When I feel down, I can go back through these notes and also see how far I've come. That's my washing machine. It's gonna go on for a while. If you want to learn Chinese, for example, it takes hard work. And it's the same with like being able to unlock your brain. It's like one of the biggest magical, mystery, amazing things of my life that I've ever done was therapy. So yeah, that's kind of like my backstory. The biggest change was figuring out how to stop my panic attacks and finding that you can stop them as long as you have the right tools in place to do so. A good one was like having a panic attack box where I would print out like things to do to cognitively engage my brain, my go-to was always meditation. So I would literally search on Spotify, panic attack help meditation, anxiety meditation. I listen to a lot of like science podcasts about what your body and your brain goes through when you're feeling anxious or when you're panicking.
Or mindfulness in minutes is my favorite one. Anxiety SOS meditation, 16 minutes long. It's like nothing. This one, oh my God, the anatomy of anxiety and how to deal with it. This one was like a game changer. Really broke it down in like scientific terms for me, which is exactly what I needed. Also, another one that I first discovered when I went to hypnotherapy was this website called Uncommon Knowledge, and it's called like hypnosis downloads, overcoming panic attacks, coping with bad neighbors, public speaking. Oh my God, my favorite one of all time is like they're called 7-11 breathing exercise. This one, oh my God, was just life-changing. I still use this breathing technique.
It's called like 7-11 breathing, but I call it like 5-3 breathing, because you breathe in for 3 seconds and out for 5, and it's the same sort of deal with like breathe in for 7 and out for 11. I could never hit those marks. That type of breathing is the breathing that we have when we're at our most relaxed, when we're like, you know, like really sleepy, ready to go to sleep. When you know, when you're lying in bed, you're like, where you breathe in for 3 seconds and out for 5. So out for longer basically tricks your brain into thinking that you are going to be relaxed. Doing that, I'm not joking, for a solid like couple of minutes stopped my panic attacks instantly.
And yes, it's about $15, which is about £10 UK. Overcome Fear and Anxiety. This is the other one by Roger Elliott. This fucking changed my motherfucking life. As soon as I felt a panic attack coming on, I would put this audio on. Most of the time I could just put it on and listen to the first 5 minutes, and it changed everything. So I would highly recommend this website and going on and checking it out.
The more I did it, the less anxiety and the less panic attacks I would have. And I honestly feel like I don't fear anxiety anymore. I don't fear panic attacks anymore, because I know exactly what to do, like back of my hand. So I'm gonna really think about what my therapist has said. I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna maybe do some exercise, I'm gonna shower. Again, a lot of people talk about exercise. I am not a big fan of exercise. I know it can really help some people. It hasn't helped me. You have to find things that work for you. Again, I use social media to therapize myself. Like I put stuff out there that I feel uncomfortable with or that I'm having issues with, and I'll put it out there and I see so many people respond to it. That really helps me. Masturbating helps me. You can get tips from other people, but what's going to work for you is the only thing that's going to work for you. I feel motivated, I feel good. I feel really good doing this blog video as well. Like I feel like I've got a lot of stuff off my chest, and I feel like I'm turning like, yes, right, I'm feeling good. So do video vlogs, you know, like do video, like write diaries. All of this shit helps so much to get all of that horrible thought process and bollocks that's in your head out. Get it out of your head, just fucking get away. So now I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna go outside as well today. I know I haven't been outside since 3 or 4 days, but I'm gonna go outside today. I feel it. Like this video if this has been helpful. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for loads of other stuff. For sex chat, I swear it won't all be boring mental health stuff. Listen to our podcast, Fucks Given, of course. Also check out the vlogs that Florence is doing as well, because they're really fun and amazing. Please give me all your information and advice in the comments below, because it might help somebody else out. Mwah! Love you all so, so much. I managed to make my bed. Right now, shower. I really don't want to do that though, but I'm gonna do it, because I'm stanky. Okay, so I did my favourite thing and I had a wank, and I had like a proper masturbation session where like I got into my favourite tea, which I like to play with my nipples with. I used my favourite wand as well as my favourite dildo at the moment. It's covered in CBD lube right now, which I gotta go wash. So yeah, feeling good. I have to be careful that I'm not using masturbation as escapism, because I do that, and actually taking the time to not just like have a quick wank and be done with it, but taking the time to like explore my body and get in the mindset and think about it. So that can be really fucking good for mental health. I'm still like in the orgasm moment right now, so yeah, it's good. Nice. I've just done a workout and I managed to do 10 press-ups in a row, and it has taken me, I think, about 3 or 4 months to get that. Someone at the door, always when I'm naked in the shower. So yeah, as I was in the shower, I was thinking about like why I like dubstep music so much. And I honestly think it's because there's so much going on that I do not have time to overthink and like allow my negative intrusive thoughts to take over. It's like I genuinely have no room in my brain to think negative thoughts. Hence why I like drugs so much. The escapism of it meant that I didn't have to think for like that evening. Of course, the downside to going out drinking and drugging is that it fucks you up 10 times worse, and then you're on a vicious cycle of I feel shit, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna make myself feel better, but the drugs and the alcohol and the tiredness and just goes round and round and round. I feel really good today. My contraception is giving me mad mood swings because I'm either extreme, like feeling extremes, like really happy, or like extreme low for no reason. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. Anyway, I'll keep you updated because I'm feeling good today. So I thought I'd give you another little update on where my mental health is at. So it's been a week now since I've done those vlogs. And I felt really good this week. I've started back on my exercise again, my workouts. I did a run with my friend for the first ever time. My legs are killing me on my knees. And literally just before I spoke to my therapist, a huge fuck up for my birthday plans came about, where I thought I put down a deposit for one venue, but realised I fucked up and put a deposit down for another venue, and the venue that I wanted is now fully booked. So I bawled my motherfucking eyes out. Like, I haven't cried like that probably in a long time, which is probably what I needed to do last week when I was feeling really rough. I used to hate crying. I used to really hide away from it. It's only through like therapy and through learning about what actually crying is, I've realized how fucking beneficial it is. So had my massive cry, spoke to my therapist, and oh my God, I cannot tell you the weight that has been lifted off my chest and shoulders. Also, I had mad issues last night. I had mad IBS issues, and it's worse when I'm at somebody else's house. I get extreme pain, like stabbing in my stomach, and I get 3 waves of the shits. So I get like the first wave of the shit, which is like a normal shit, second wave, which is like not really okay, and then the third wave, which is like pure diarrhea. All the way home from there, I was just like, am I gonna have to literally jump off the train? Am I gonna have to squat on a busy public platform and shit out my guts? And I'm really good with dealing with my anxiety at the moment, but in that instant, I'm not good with dealing with my anxiety. I got like full-on prangs of panic and like panic attack, and I was like on this train like doing everything I possibly could. So I was like controlling my breathing. I chose to risk the third wave and wait until I get home, which luckily it worked. So yeah, that was traumatic, and I think all my like sadness and tears and everything that's been happening the last week just fell out of my eyeballs. And I feel just so much better for it. The moral of this story is allow yourself to cry, please, because it really makes a huge difference. It really does. So yeah, let's see if we can crack on and make the rest of this week fucking great and sort out my birthday. Yay! Fuck.
For those that aren't so sure if they want to pursue therapy, that have something they feel holds them back, I'd say actually that makes absolute sense. There's something very scary in doing something new, but maybe what's to be gained is so much bigger than the awkwardness. Things like a new way to perceive the world, new relationships, new job kind of prospects, a deeper love and understanding for yourself and your quirks and things that trigger you, and ways and skills to cope with that, to feel more whole.